Is the era of the DSLR finally dead? Or have we all been blinded by the mirrorless hype? Today, we are looking at a camera that refuses to be forgotten. It is a machine that many professionals still call the greatest all-around camera ever built. We are talking about the legendary Nikon D850. Even now, in early 2026, this camera remains an absolute powerhouse. It represents the absolute peak of decades of mechanical engineering. When Nikon released this for their 100th anniversary, they didn't just launch a product. They made a global statement. They wanted to prove that one single camera could truly do it all. In a world obsessed with plastic bodies and digital screens, the D850 stands tall. It is a symbol of precision, endurance, and raw photographic power. Most modern cameras force you to make a choice. Do you want high resolution for landscapes? Or do you want high speed for action? The Nikon D850 is one of the few cameras that says you can have both. It features a massive 45.7 megapixel sensor. But it isn't just about the number of pixels. This sensor uses a backside illuminated or BSI design. At the time, this was a massive technical shift for Nikon. By moving the wiring behind the photodiodes, more light hits every single pixel. The result? Cleaner images, richer colors, and incredible performance in low light. The detail is so sharp it feels like you can step right into the photograph. Texture and fine patterns look natural, not artificial or over-sharpened. It gives your work a depth that is usually only found in medium-format cameras costing 3 times the price. When you zoom into a file from this camera, you discover details you didn't even see with your own eyes. One of the most celebrated features for landscape and studio photographers is the base ISO of 64. While almost every other camera starts at ISO 100, the D850 goes lower. This lower sensitivity allows for a dynamic range that is practically legendary in the industry. Imagine shooting a bright sunrise over dark, jagged mountains. Most cameras would lose the detail in the shadows or blow out the sky. Not this one. The D850 captures subtle tonal transitions that other sensors simply miss. You can recover deep shadow detail during editing without introducing ugly grain or digital noise. The highlights don't just clip into white, they roll off softly, giving your images a film-like quality. This flexibility in post-production is exactly why professional photographers still refuse to trade their D850 for a mirrorless alternative. It makes your editing process feel like magic because the data is so rich and malleable. Now, let's talk about pure speed. Usually, a high-resolution camera is slow and clunky. The Nikon D850 challenges that entire assumption. Powered by the XP5 processor, it shoots at 7 frames per second at full 45 megapixel resolution. But here is the secret. If you add the optional battery grip and a high-capacity battery, that speed jumps to 9 frames per second. Suddenly, a camera designed for slow landscape work becomes a serious contender for professional sports and wildlife. You're capturing massive, detailed files at a speed that can freeze a bird in mid-flight or a racing car on the track. To handle this mountain of data, Nikon built a professional dual-card slot system. It supports XQD cards and CF Express Type B, which are incredibly fast. This means your buffer clears almost instantly, and the camera never freezes up while saving your work. It also has a second slot for SD cards, giving you the peace of mind that your data is always backed up. The autofocus system is another area where this camera earns its legend status. It uses the same 153-point AF system found in the flagship Nikon D5. It is fast, sticky, and incredibly reliable. Whether you are at a wedding in a dark church or out in the rain tracking a moving subject, the autofocus remains confident. It has 99 cross-type sensors that detect contrast in every direction. It can even lock focus in conditions so dark that your own eyes are struggling to see. And because this is a DSLR, you have a massive optical viewfinder. There is no digital lag, no electronic flicker, and no battery draining screen inside the eyepiece. You are seeing the light exactly as it passes through the lens. This creates a raw, real-time connection to your subject that many pros say is missing from modern mirrorless systems. When you hold the D850, you feel the difference in. It is built like a tank. With a magnesium alloy chassis and extensive weather sealing, it is designed to survive the harshest environments on Earth. Rain, dust, freezing cold, or desert heat, this camera was built to take it all. The grip is deep and secure, making it comfortable for 12-hour shooting days. Nikon even added illuminated buttons so you can change settings in total darkness without fumbling. Then, there is the battery life, the biggest weakness of mirrorless cameras. While a mirrorless camera might die after 400 shots, the D850 can easily capture over 1,840 shots on a single charge. In the real world, many photographers report getting over 2,500 shots. This reliability means you focus on the art, not on finding a power outlet. Even in the world of video, the D850 was a pioneer. It was one of the first Nikon cameras to offer full-frame 4K recording with no crop. This means you get the beautiful, wide field of view from your lenses without any zoom-in effect. The colors are natural, and the 4K detail is stunning. While it may not have the 8K features of 2026 flagships, the D850's video is more than enough for professional YouTube content, documentaries, and commercial work. Furthermore, you have access to over 60 years of Nikon F-mount glass. You can use legendary vintage lenses or the latest high-performance zooms without needing any clumsy adapters. The D850 isn't just a camera, it's a bridge between the history of photography and the future of digital art. In my professional opinion, the Nikon D850 is the most complete camera ever created. It represents the absolute pinnacle of the DSLR era. If you are a photographer who values reliability, insane battery life, and the highest possible image quality over a slightly smaller body, the D850 is still the king. It is a professional tool that works as hard as you do. Even as the market shifts entirely to mirrorless, the D850 remains a benchmark that very few cameras can match. It's not just about the specs, it's about the trust you feel when you hear that shutter click. It is a masterpiece that will be used for decades to come. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on the best gear in the world.